Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NWA Samhain 3. We have an absolutely amazing show planned for you tonight, and we'll kick off through some of the matches that will take place on this card. At first, we'll have Colby Corino, fresh off his win over Max the Impaler at NWA 77, taking on another one of James Mitchell's followers in PCO. We have seen this match before with Colby Corino getting the win, but has PCO changed since their last match, or will Colby Corino continue to reign supreme? We will also see Kenzie Page, fresh off her victory over Natalia Markova at NWA 77. She will take on the debuting Nixon Newell, formerly known as Tegan Knox, in the WWE for the NWA World Women's Championship. And in our main event tonight, we will see the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion Bishop Dyer team with the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion in Max the Impaler to take on the team of Oliver Carter and another former NWA World Heavyweight Champion in EC3. Can Father James Mitchell's disciples in Bishop Dyer and Max the Impaler continue their dominance over the NWA, or will Oliver Carter and EC3 get a huge win over the NWA World Heavyweight Champion? We'll find out this and more tonight at NWA Samhain 3. We kick off the show as normal with a few pre-show matches, with the first being AJ Kasana against Gags the Gimp. Again, Gags the Gimp gets the win in this one in just over 7 minutes with a sex factor of all things. Again, good win for Gags the Gimp. AJ Kasana sort of tumbling down the card after his loss with Casey Kasana of the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. But we move from this pre-show match to a pre-show segment, again taped for social media. Rob Conway, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, comes out and says it's great to be back where he belongs. He says he's the greatest NWA World Champion of all time, but he does hate to be in front of these greasy, sweaty fans here in Pop's nightclub. Then we have Tim Storm, who comes down to defend the NWA fans. He says that Conway's time as NWA World Heavyweight Champion was just as forgettable as his time in Law Resistance. The only thing actually memorable about Rob Conway was that terrible theme music he had in the WWE. Rob Conway takes exception to this. He gets in Tim Storm's face, but Storm does give him a quick right hand, which sends him out of the ring. Again, just a quick segment between these two former NWA World Heavyweight Champions. Again, Rob Conway's just on a one appearance deal, and this is that single appearance. And Tim Storm is no longer Baron Von Storm. He is officially now retired, and he's simply just a road agent that is backstage. So there's no more Baron Von Storm, and Tim Storm is now just a road agent. But we'll move on to our third and final segment of our pre-show, as in a 36 rated match, Natalia Markova and Tiffany Nieves defeat Ruthie J and Miss Star. Again, a decent match between these two. Natalia Markova carrying the match in terms of in-ring performance. Miss Star and Ruthie J not working well as a team. It seems like Ruthie J can't really work with anyone. But again, a 36 rated match. Not the best, but not the worst. A good performance from the winning team. But we'll move on to the main show, which starts with a 62 rated segment. A really good segment to open up the show. We have RVD. He comes out, he says that even though he's not an active wrestler, doesn't mean he left the NWA. He's secretly been working on his manager's license for the past few months since he's been in the NWA, and he reveals his first client is Colby Corino. He says that he's going to be Colby Corino's Jack Victory. He's going to be his Bill Alfonso. He is going to manage him to NWA Gold. So Colby Corino does have a new manager in the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Rob Van Dam. We go from this to a television championship match, as Mike Mondo defeats Trevor Murdoch in just under 13 minutes and he makes the second defense of the NWA World Television Championship. Get a 36 rated match, not the best, again not the worst. Decent performance from both of them, getting a 40 and 36, but a strong win for Mike Mondo as he defeats yet another former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. We then have a 46 rated segment. As the Slime Balls, they're backstage, they're feeling sorry for themselves. These past few months haven't been the best for them. They showed promise going to the final of the Crockett Cup, but have been on the downslide since then, and they say they need help. Then there's a voice heard, and when the camera pans over, it's revealed to be Titus, formerly Titus O'Neil in the WWE. He says that he is here to help the Slime Balls, and he'll make sure they get back on track. He's a former tag team champion himself, and he knows what it takes to be a tag team champion. So it seems that the Slime Balls have a new manager in Titus. Then, in a 45 rated match, quite a good match, TJP, Mike Seidel and Dylan McKay do defeat Rolando Perez, Daisy Kill and Talus in just over 10 minutes when TJP pins Rolando Perez. Again, just a way to get these 6 people on the card. TJP, the new World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and there is some challenges in there for him. For example, Mike Seidel, Dylan McKay, Rolando and Daisy Kill. Some good performances in the match with TJP getting a 56, Seidel getting a 42, Dylan McKay being off his game but getting a 34. The heel team, not the best, with Perez 27, Talus getting a 17, again we may not keep him around, but Daisy Kill getting a 26, which is okay. Again, good win for the babyface team here. We go from that to another return as Marsh Rockette is now back. He defeats Alex Misery in about 8.5 minutes with an M80. He has returned. He is no longer Carnage. He is no longer a part of BFT. BFT are no more. Damage, which was Rodney Mack, has left the company, and he being Marsh Rockette, is now on his own. And he's looking, once again, for NWA Singles Gold. We then have the Diamonds in the Rough. They are not in the arena tonight. They're actually in a hospital. Slade and Plunkett are sat by Simon Diamond, who's in his hospital bed. He's still feeling the effects of the Sandman, though at this point is quite comical. He has got quite a large neck brace on, but he says that whenever he sees the Sandman again, he will swear revenge. He wants the Sandman gone, and he will do anything it takes to beat him down. So Simon Diamond, whenever they go back to New York City or in Philadelphia, he is on the lookout for the Sandman. Then, in a 44 rated match, and quite a good match, we have Carson Drake and Jay Bradley defeating the team of Los Hermanos de la Jungla, who we have seen before in the Mexican shows. Getting quite a good match between these two, but Carson Drake, a former World Television Champion, seems to have found a bit of backup in Jay Bradley. They do get quite a good performance, with Bradley getting a 39 and Carson Drake getting a 33, but the two luchadors do outperform them, with Aero Panther getting 45 and Fight Panther getting 39. The Los Hermanos de la Jungla have signed officially with the NWA. They are a part of the full-time roster now, but their debut match, or their official debut match here, does lead to a loss to Carson Drake and Jay Bradley. So we are beefing up the tag division a bit with these two new teams. Comes out and he requests that Gags the Gimp and Salvation join him. He says that they have been loyal soldiers for years. They have been with him since he first came to the NWA, and he appreciates them. But he cannot deny that they've been failures. And James Mitchell does not stand for failure. He says that he's found his new family in the Church of Sin, and the newest member is here tonight. Then from behind, we have Vic. He comes and he attacks Gags and Sal, leaving them behind as Mitchell and him walk away. So Vic is the newest member of the Church of Sin, which is the officially renamed stable of Father James Mitchell. This does include Bishop Dyer, PCO and Max the Impaler. They are now officially known as the Church of Sin. And in terms of Vic, he is no longer Zion, he is Vic, and he is a part of James Mitchell's church. We move from James Mitchell to a 39 rated match, as Weber Hatfield does in fact defeat Chris Adonis. Chris Adonis returning to the NWA, a former national heavyweight champion, but he does not crown his return with a victory tonight, as Weber Hatfield, the upcoming star of NWA, does in fact defeat him. Again, a good win for Weber Hatfield, getting a 40 compared to Chris Adonis at 37. He does unfortunately sustain a strained wrist, but I don't think it should take him out of action. He should be able to work through it. But a 39 rated match, not the best, but again, could have been worse. We then go to the Southern Six. They're back in their clubhouse. Alex Taylor wants to know what Morton, or Kerry Morton, was thinking when he cost him the junior heavyweight title at NWA 77. Thrill Billy has to mediate between the two and have Morton apologise to Taylor. So there is some rifts now forming between the Southern Six. We'll see how this begins to play out in the coming shows, but the Southern Six aren't exactly on good terms at the moment. Then, in an excellent 56 rated match, Colby Carino once again defeats PCO. Get a really good match between the two. Colby Carino being really off his game, but still getting a 52 is excellent. PCO getting 49. Again, really good performance between the two. Another match that we have seen before, and the result goes the same way, with Colby Carino once again defeating PCO. But we'll then move to our next match. In a 52 rated match, Kenzie Page does in fact defeat Nixon Newell, the debuting Nixon Newell, after a distraction once again from Kylie Page. Again, Kenzie Page makes defense number 32 of the NWA World's Women's Championship. A good performance from Kenzie Page, getting a 56. Nixon Newell doing slightly less than I expected, getting a 39. But overall, a good match between the two. So we move on to our main event, our tag team match between Bishop Dyer and Max the Impaler against Oliver Carter and EC3. And this match gets a 57, in which the Disciples of Sin, Bishop Dyer and Max the Impaler, again the new Disciples of Sin, formed under James Mitchell, they defeat Oliver Carter and EC3 when Bishop Dyer pins EC3 after a distraction from Oddinson. Again, Oddinson did defeat EC3 at NWA 77, but it seems like he is not done with him yet. Really good performances all round. EC3 was really off his game though, getting a 36 and being the weak link in the match. But Bishop Dyer getting a 58, Max getting a 55, and Oliver Carter getting a 49. Equals out to a 57, a really good match, and a really good way to finish the show. So we'll see what overall rating we got for the show. The show does indeed get a 56, again not quite as good as NWA 77, but that is to be expected. This show was sort of getting us back in the rhythm after NWA 77. A few returns, a few debuts, a few different changes in character, things like this. But quite a good show considering everything that happened. So a 56, a good show, and we'll see how much money we made and if there was any popularity increases. So we will be praising both TJP and Aero Panther, who did have really good performances throughout the show. TJP is pleased, as is Aero Panther. So we'll look for our injury review to see how long Weber Hatfield is out for. He is out for 5 days, that'll be fine. It can be worked through as well. We don't have a show in the next 5 days, but he'll be able to work through it anyway. If we look at our financial report, we didn't make $7,000 on this show. Ticket sales are at 8,400. Broadcast revenue again very high with 9,600. Workers again are getting higher with the talent we are bringing in, but obviously the higher wages we have, the better talent we are going to have. So it does end up equaling out, but a good profit for the show. If we look at our popularity, We did get a popularity boost all round. Again, 17s now in Mexico, 19s in Canada, and around 26s, 27s in some regions of America, but 35s in others. And that 35 does in fact now mean we are a small promotion. We have risen to a small promotion. So when we get back to the office area, we'll hopefully see that confirmation. So that is the end of the post show, the end of NWA Sam Hain 3. So I'll see you back at the office where we hopefully get the confirmation that we are now a small promotion. So here we are back in the office area, and we'll see what emails we got. Hopefully it confirms that we are now a small promotion. There it is. NWA has risen to the small size. Again, really excellent for the NWA, rising from tiny to small. We'll see our viewing figures getting around 35,000 viewers overall. Again, far more than we had at the start of the series. Again, confirmation of Weber Hatfield's injury. But we are now a small promotion, which means hopefully in the coming months, maybe towards the start of 2026 in game, that we will see NWA Power return to television. I do have a TV deal in mind, but we'll see how long it takes us to actually get to the overall popularity we need to get on television. So hopefully it won't be too long. But in terms of the next episode, this will probably be around the end of the month of September in game. Again, always on Fridays and Mondays on YouTube, you'll see the next episode of the NWA series. But our next actual event that we'll see is NWA The Heat is On. So again, towards the end of September, 13 days time, so on the 27th, just under 2 weeks, we will see NWA The Heat is On. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying this series. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the NWA The Heat is On.